In recent years, Zagreb has become one of the most popular destinations in Croatia. As a capital city, with its rich history and an abundance of cultural events, this is a perfect place to include in your Croatian adventure. So let's check it out.
The seaside part of our adventure is done for this season, and it's time we explore the capital city, Zagreb. I've arrived at Split Airport very early, so that I can catch the earliest flight and have enough time to explore the capital. I'm glad I've had the opportunity to be among the first passengers to get on board and meet the co-pilot Siniša, whose steady hand will guide us from takeoff to landing.
Ljudi, ovo je moje radno mjesto. Malo je, ima par kvadrata, puno gumbića, ali ja volim ovdje biti. Volim ovu tehnologiju, od malena sam zapravo volio sve što leti.
The flight is very smooth. I'm passing the time enjoying a light breakfast, and the friendly staff are making sure I'm cozy and I've got everything I might need.
Posao stewardese nije samo posluživanje hrane i pića u zrakoplovu. Glavna naša uloga na avionu je briga o sigurnosti putnika. Stewardese su oči i uši zrakoplova. Naša dužnost je od početka leta, od dolaska na avion kroz cijeli let, obraćati pozornost na bilo što bi moglo dovesti do nekakve nenadane situacije. Za vrijeme poljetanja i slijetanja, što su ujedno i sigurnosno najzahtjevnije faze leta, mi naizgled samo sjedimo na našim sjedalima, a zapravo u sebi vodimo takozvani 30-second silent review. U tišini ponavljamo cijeli niz sigurnosnih procedura u slučaju opasnosti, tako da, dragi putnici, to je vrlo bitna uloga kabinskog osoblja.
After our brief but entirely pleasant flight, lasting a mere half an hour, we arrive at the Franjo Tuđman Airport. It is early morning and the weather is ideal for our Zagreb adventure. For a start, I'm off to the city centre and the most popular open-air market.
Here we are in Zagreb city centre, at Dolac Farmers Market, the city belly, where fresh produce is sold daily. I've got a lady here today with me called Carmela, who's going to tell me exactly at what spots to buy the best produce.
Hi.
Hi.
We are now in the oldest and the biggest market in Zagreb.
Oh, right.
Operates from 1930. But main reason why people coming here, not just to buy fresh products,
right?
Also to socialize, because
of course they
know the salesman who regular customer, and they of course buy from them. And
right.
When you come to the Dolac market, you should spend around 2 hours, because you will talk with the saleswomen or sales guys,
of course,
and of course buy the best of the best.
One of the typical dishes everyone in Zagreb loves is cottage cheese with sour cream. It is homemade cottage cheese from local small family farms.
We will try a little bit, just a tiny little bit.
Malo, malo.
Okay. Oh, it goes on top of my hand, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
So actually we eat it combined with the cream.
Right.
Nowadays we usually use it for preparing, dishes.
Ooh,
it can be used
so
in savory dishes, also in sweet dishes, and also be combined with the cream and eat as a brunch.
Cottage cheese with sour cream is a traditional delicacy people of this area usually have either for breakfast or for brunch. Homemade cream is an ingredient in another delectable, typical for this region.
Carmela, you are the food expert. What are we about to have a bite of here?
They're specialized only on štrukli.
Štrukli?
Yes. Štrukli is actually a specialty from Hrvatsko Zagorje, which is a little bit north from Zagreb area.
It's the hills, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we actually serve it in any festive occasion because it's a salty appetizer. It can be like this. Gratin with a cream in the oven, or it can be cooked and then served with a buttered breadcrumb, and also cook in a soup.
After these rich appetizers, I will try out another traditional dish from a typical Zagreb pub, preserving the tradition of this region's old and authentic dishes.
The dish is roasted duck with mlinci.
Mlinci.
Mlinci. Mlinci is actual Croatian pasta, also around Zagreb area and also from Zagorje, which is again
the hills.
The hills. And the thing about mlinci is that this is probably the only pasta in the world that first baked and then afterwards cooked. People in the past should have found the way how to feed the family because they were poor. So we for mlinci need only flour, salt and water.
So it's just flour, salt and water to produce mlinci?
Yes, and then we roll it really thin. And usually people in the past put it directly on the stove and then baked. That's how it's got this beige brownish color. And that at that stage they can actually preserve them or store them for a couple of months. And when it's needed, they crack in small pieces, put into the boiling salty water and cooked. And it is best with the duck and sometimes with the turkey because the fat of the duck when it's roast is combined
to give it the moisture,
and it's combined with mlinci, so it's a delicious
sauce.
With delicious food like this, it's best to pair it with some continental wine. It is time for us to stretch our legs and visit a great winery, and to take part in some tastings of top local products from all over Croatia. But first, wine.
And what are we drinking today?
As we are doing wine tastings for the people who are coming here to visit us, and the people are from all over the world, we obviously want to promote our own native varieties. So the grapes which is growing only here, nowhere else in the world. So for this time we are drinking some native varieties which are very well known for the continental part of the Croatia. The first one, this is the white, which is called Pušipel.
Should I hold it like this?
It doesn't matter. You can hold it like this or here. We are in Europe, so this is the European style.
I will do it like that. Okay.
So you need always to twist a little bit, just to put a little bit of air in the glass.
I see.
And smell and drink, which is the most important thing.
I will do that.
But first...
of course. Chin, 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 chin. Thank you for this.
Traditionally, we have to finish, our meal with a coffee, because Croatian, puts coffee on a bigger level than anybody else in the world. So socializing with coffee and everything is for us kind of treat. We usually drink coffee not 20 minutes, but merely 2 hours because we drink it really slowly and chit-chat with our friends or family. But of course, with coffee comes a dessert.
Yes.
In Zagreb and especially in the near town Samobor, it's well-known dessert kremšnite or custard pie. So you have actually custard cream between 2 layers of puff pastry. And it's, as you can see, the puff pastry is crunchy. Usually I like, to put it up and, eat it.
Is that how you eat it?
Yeah. I eat it like this.
I'm about to make such a mess, I just know it.
Never mind.
urban oasis, the recreational sports center Yarun spreads over 240 hectares, 30% of which is water. It boasts a regatta course, 2 lakes and 6 islands. The banks of Yarun Lake are lined with pebble beaches, and the entire recreational sports center is interconnected by kilometers of pedestrian and bicycle trails. A large number of sports grounds and facilities cater to the needs of athletes and ordinary people. Rowing, kayaking and canoeing competitions are held at the regatta course, while sailing and windsurfing activities take place on the Veliko Jezero, or the Big Lake. Yarun Lake is also an ideal place for fishermen and those who want to play football, basketball, beach volleyball and handball, as well as bocce. For the past few years, Yarun has been a host to a very interesting spectacle, a traditional Neretva boats race.
So Tomislav, tell us about this event today.
Well, it's a race in traditional Croatian boats from the region down in Adriatic coast, from Neretva Valley. So today is third time here in Zagreb on Yarun Lake. It's a chance to promote the sport here, so more people can see it and eventually come to the main event, which is in August down in Neretva.
What's special about these vessels, these boats?
Well, these vessels are traditional boats that weren't before they weren't used for this kind of rowing and sports events. They were used for traditional purposes in agriculture, so transportation of fruits and vegetables and people. And in the last 20 years, the event popularized this vessel, and it was the way they wanted to promote it and attract more people down there. And it's 20 years now, and some 30 to 40 teams participate down there. Today it's 14.
The true original race is held in the Neretva River Valley every year on the second Saturday in August. Around 600 competitors in 40 boats enter the 22.5 kilometers long race down the Neretva River, which starts in Metković and finishes in Ploče.
The vessel is a traditional form which hasn't changed in the last 1,000 years.
Right.
1,000 years, so it's very heavy and very slow.
And how many people fit in a boat?
12 people. 5 on the left, 5 on the right, the one who is steering, and the coach or the one to be reserved for each side, so 12 people.
Right.
It's very hard. It's a marathon race. Today it's going to be 9 or 10 kilometers. Down there it's 22.5, so it's very hard and it's not for faint-hearted.
Try not to miss this spectacle if you happen to be in Croatia at that particular time, because this is one of the biggest events in the country, and it is also quite a tourist attraction.
Zagreb is the Yacht Charter Center of Croatia, and we are here with Tino, who is the founder of International Charter Expo. Tino, tell us all about it.
The International Charter Expo was first held in 2013, and the aim was to gather the yacht charter industry of the world in Croatia, because Croatia was at that time starting to look like the yacht charter center of the world.
Oh wow.
So with the biggest fleet in the world, the biggest charter fleet in the world, and its popularity rising all over the globe, Croatia is today the leading yacht charter industry. To have a global event in Croatia just made sense at the time. So today on ice, we gather almost all relevant charter companies of the world. They meet with charter agencies from all over the world that are the main sales channel for the industry, and all their suppliers of various goods and services, from shipyards to software developers and so on. They all meet for one weekend in November.
ICE is quite a unique event in the world. How come there's none like it?
People of the industry used to meet on boat shows.
Right.
Boat shows are B2C events where shipyards, basically, and charter companies and charter agencies, they offer their products to the public. And there was never a specific event to gather only the professionals of the industry, a B2B event. So what we did is we just extracted all the professionals out of the boat shows. We expelled the boats from the boat show, and we got a pure business-to-business trade show that gathered all the relevant subjects of the industry without the public. And therefore, we made it work much more efficiently. And for example, in one weekend of ICE, there are approximately 7,500 meetings held between almost 400 companies. And the efficiency of it all basically makes it a unique event. Being that efficiency is the goal of all enterprises today, in the spirit of efficiency, we also developed another project called Ice Market, that is a trading platform, much like ICE, only virtual, online, and enables 400 companies to also trade online in real time during the whole year, not only 3 days of the expo. So basically, after the 3 days of the expo, this platform of ours connects charter companies with the shipyards, enabling them to purchase boats online during the whole year.
Certainly a great way to enjoy summer stay is through a visit in Zagreb City Zoo.
Zagreb Zoo is home to 275 species of animals, with 2,225 individuals from almost all continents, including mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fishes, and invertebrates. A particularly interesting part of the zoo is the enclosure, where one can see animals that still roam freely in the wild in Croatia, the so-called Croatian beasts.
Yes, we are very proud of Croatian biodiversity, and in Croatia we have, let's say, 3 beasts still, which are not present in most of European countries. So we are talking about the brown bear, grey wolf, and the bobcat.
Right.
European bobcat, and you have seen our wolves today. We are hoping to get some babies in these days, and grey wolves have been on the edge of extinction, or they are endangered species in Croatia, so education about them in the zoos is very important. Brown bears, there is no lack of population, or there is, but also raising awareness of need to protect them for the future generation is quite important. And the bobcat are on the edge of extinction in Croatia, unfortunately. And I'm very happy to say that one lost cub, or maybe something happened, and last July we got a small kitten in our zoo. Our behavior around him was immediately that we wanted to put him back to the nature. So he was here for 4 months. Then we had a process of reintroduction in the forest. So in National Park Risnjak, he was successfully released, and I'm very happy to say that now, after 6 months, he's living his life. And
so he's back at the wilderness?
Yes.
Right.
In addition to a large number of different animals in the zoo, We can also learn a lot about reptiles, the three most dangerous species of which in Croatia are the nose-horned viper, the common adder and the meadow viper. The common adder has the most unusual color pattern among them. It can be black or have a series of incomplete dorsal crossbars, whereas the nose-horned viper is the most easily recognized by a single horn on the snout. Most of these species are very active during the day, due to their predilection for basking in the sun, which helps them warm up their bodies. As an ideal hiding place, they use piles of stones and dry pieces of wood.
So what we wanted to show you is when you see a snake in Croatia, don't take a shovel or whatever and kill it. Try to understand first that they are not dangerous.
Right.
You just need to be cautious. If you see a snake, then you just step away and everything will be fine.
Right.
And all the time we are trying to promote biodiversity and to educate people about snakes and their role in nature, and that they should not be killed when you see one.
The city of Zagreb is 1,000 years old, and we know this from the first available written document dating back to the 12th century. And the best place to learn more about the history of the city is from the Zagreb City Museum, which is situated right here at the historical core of the old town.
In 1094, King Ladislaus I of Hungary established the Diocese of Zagreb east of the Medveščak stream and next to the settlement of tradesmen and merchants, Vlaška Ves.
In this document is written that the bishopric was founded at the end of his life. So we suppose that the year would be 1094. And officially this year is recognized as the year of the foundation of the Zagreb bishopric. And the first bishop sent into this new bishopric was Duh. That is very nice name, very appropriate, because in Croatian language, name Duh means spirit, geist.
Duh.
Yes.
Duh, okay.
Yes, the first bishop of Zagreb bishopric.
At the time, there were only two settlements on the neighboring hills, Gradec and Kaptol. Kaptol was the rich seat and home to the clergy, while Gradec was a settlement of merchants and tradesmen. Understandably, they were not in good relations, and frequent and bloody battles took place between these two settlements.
So this is the model of the city?
Yes, that is the model of Zagreb. It shows us what the city looked like throughout the Middle Ages.
Right.
So we can see that there were two settlements on two neighboring hills, and there was natural border, the stream Medveščak.
Right.
It still runs, but we cannot see it anymore because 100 years ago it was covered, and it runs through tunnel under Kalčićeva street.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and on this position we have a short street with very unusual name. It is called Bloody Bridge because formerly there was a wooden bridge, but citizens of Zagreb called it, even in Middle Ages, Bloody Bridge because that was the spot of many conflicts between Kaptol and Gradec.
At the beginning of the 17th century, Zagreb was a prosperous and very modern settlement of merchants and craftsmen. In no respect whatsoever did Zagreb trail behind the leading cities of Europe, not even in the prosecution of witches. The Zagreb City Museum contains some old torture devices and an authentic list of people, men and women, who were accused of witchcraft back in the day. Labels next to their names indicate their fate. All of them were tortured and most of them were burned at the stake. This practice was abolished in Zagreb at the end of the 18th century, as well as in the rest of the Habsburg monarchy. We should also mention the Great Earthquake of 1880, which destroyed most of the city. the old Zagreb Cathedral suffered so much damage that it had to be completely rebuilt. Nevertheless, in addition to the rebuilding of the cathedral, which is now Zagreb's trademark, new palaces, parks and fountains were built. The Boondock Sports Recreation Center is located in Novi Zagreb, alongside the Sava River. Boondock enables citizens of Zagreb to spend time outdoors in an area of nature, providing them with recreation and relaxation opportunities such as walking, barbecuing, sunbathing and fishing. Veliko Jezero boasts a well-maintained 10,000 square meter shore, where during the summer season a team of lifeguards and doctors are employed to ensure swimmers' safety. During the swimming season, the quality of water is monitored regularly. The entrance to the lake is adapted for people with disabilities, allowing access to wheelchair users. Malo Jezero is preserved as a natural habitat of diverse plant and animal species. The Zagreb Advent has become a recognized brand throughout Europe, and one of its latest attractions is the Festival of Lights. Festival of Lights is becoming a tradition in ever more cities around the world. Creative masters have given an exciting new dimension to many famous monuments, enrobing them in vivid hues. In Zagreb, the first Festival of Lights was held in 2017, when spring was celebrated with spiral light installations, a light half, and a laser maze. Festival of Lights Zagreb is one of the first events heralding the new tourist season, enticing us to go outside to enjoy a spring night in the city and to witness innovative art and the magic and joy of light. Art, design, spectacle, entertainment, architecture. All of these are what the Festival of Lights is about. A festival of good emotions and beautiful scenes, making the world around us, at least for a moment, completely different. More colorful, dazzling and magical. This festival is yet another reason to visit Zagreb.
I hope you've enjoyed roaming the streets of Zagreb with me, and I do hope you had fun following our journey as we sail the Adriatic from Dubrovnik all the way up to Pula. Join us again in the next season of Sail Ho Croatia. Cheers!